we're going to call the school committee meeting of January 30th to order. We can have our students come on down to the front. So, yeah, I'm going to have to put Sarah and Jen and Sarah in a breakout room for the spelling bee.
Are you afraid we're in a Google thing?
You can't cheat. No cheating over there. All right. So let's walk through the agenda quickly, then we'll dive in. So we start with public comment. So we do have members of the public here. Public comment covers anything not on the agenda. And if you want to speak, your name and address, and it's about 2 or 3 minutes of what you want to say. We'll then move to our focus on excellence, and we have our Joshua Eaton Jaguar Spelling Bee winners here today. We're excited about that. And I hear a rumor they're going to put the school committee to the test, so we'll see. And administration.
Bring it on. Bring it on. We're ready.
I only do the remote. Remote doesn't get out of it. Then we'll move to our consent agenda and go through reports. From reports, we'll move to new business, which includes the Student Resource Officer search process, which the first part of that is an announcement about a promotion for an existing, or now former, student resource officer. Then we'll go through the SY, or school year 25-26 calendar for review discussion. We won't vote on it yet, but we'll just discuss it. And then we will conclude the night with our FY26 budget, our final discussion and vote for that budget. So there we go. All right, with that said, any public comment? Actually, before I do that, I need to do a roll call because Sarah's on the, so school committee, Carla.
Here.
Sean?
Here.
Aaron?
Here.
Sarah?
Here.
And Tom here. We are called to order. So now we'll do any public comment. And seeing none. Dr. Milichewski, do you want to start with kicking off the focus on excellence?
Turn it right over to Principal
Shelburne. All right. Come on over here.
I guess I can give a little context while she's coming really quick too. So for those who have not seen sort of the intros to most of our school committees, we start with what we call a focus on excellence, which is highlighting either an accomplishment or success or something really special happening across our community at any level. So students, just so you know, this is live TV in Reading, so you may have some family or friends tuning in. It's also recorded too, so people can go back and watch too. So you are already really famous for your accomplishments and about to be even more famous after tonight. So we are really excited to celebrate you and recognize you and thank you for setting a really high bar of excellence in our community, and I look forward to hearing more about what happened, how you did it, and maybe engaging a little bit here too. So I don't know what they have up their sleeve. We'll find out.
All right, good evening, school committee, members of the audience. Thank you for having us here today. I'm so honored to be here to introduce and recognize our Spelling Bee winners of our 17th annual Spelling Bee. So 17 years ago, Mr. Wise worked with one of our teachers who's still here today and running our spelling bee, Ms. Jamie Quinn, to kind of inaugurate an experience for our students that is pretty different than what we typically see on TV, where we see the students up there, kind of shaking with nerves, pulling words from memory. But we have our students working in teams, working with the visual and writing down the words and kind of working together in collaboration to come up with their answers. So it's a great opportunity for our students to kind of put themselves out there, show some of their strengths, learn some new strengths. And it's exciting today as you kind of hear from our students, you'll learn kind of the takeaways of the importance of teamwork, kind of pushing beyond their personal limits, and then also kind of recognizing what are some of their own, kind of natural strengths. So you're here not to hear from me, but to hear from our wonderful Jaguars. So we do have some words prepared for you all. Would you like our students to come up here or to the podium?
Up there, please, if possible,
Okay,
even
excellent.
behind our other students, if possible.
Let's start with our third graders, and you guys can come right on up. Just one more chair.
I'll bring one right over.
Three. Perfect, thank you.
Your champion gets delivered for for you.
No, this is special treatment here.
Hi, our names are Lorenzo, Dante, and Michael. Our experience was amazing. We were proud to win.
We learned that we're good at spelling.
We think we won because we all work together and will be on a team together every year.
Excellent. Thank you, third graders. All right, fourth grade, come on up.
Traffic congestion.
Notice the medals that they're
Yes, they're
wearing
rocking
with
the medals
pride.
indeed.
Yeah, miss.
Hi, our names are Nick, Tito, and Kian. The experience in the spelling bee was good. We were interested in joining because we had a fun experience in third grade and we wanted to do it again. We learned that we were really good at spelling. We think we won because we used teamwork.
Awesome. Excellent, thank you. All right, our fifth grade.
It's going to work teamwork.
Hi, we're Sarah Jones and Charlotte Tran, and we're the 5th grade spelling bee winners. We've been on a team together every year.
We came in first place twice and second place once.
The reason we joined was to beat our older siblings in the amount of medals we won.
We learned it is very important to have an awesome team to help and comfort you.
Also that we're just good spellers.
Excellent. And I'm going to invite Mr. Janice up. You guys can stay next to each other, and I'll just, I'll welcome. So now we have a little simulation for you all. So what you will notice if you are at our spelling bee, and I know we have multiple parents up that have maybe experienced the JE Spelling Bee before, but we, our students are working in teams, so you guys are already kind of naturally into, you should have a whiteboard and a whiteboard marker. Our lovely fifth graders are going to act as Miss Jamie Quinn, who's the moderator of the spelling bee, and Mr. Janice is going to be me, so I get to read all the words, so he'll chime in for that. And we'll go from there. So without further ado.
Okay. The pronouncer format will be as follows. The pronouncer will state the word. The pronouncer will give the word within a sentence. The pronouncer will restate the word for a second time. The pronouncer will give the correct spelling if one or more teams spells the word incorrectly.
Teams will have 30 seconds to spell the word correctly. A judge will track the time and announce when the time is up.
The judge will say final answers. The designated team member of all the teams will put down their board on their team's tray until each board is checked.
Teams that do not respond by putting down their board within 3 seconds will be marked incorrect.
Words that are not legible to the judges will be marked incorrect.
We will just practice one round. You will have 30 seconds to spell the word. The word is frumentaceous. The sentence is, the seeds of many frumentaceous plants, such as corn and oats, can be ground into meal. Frumentaceous.
Can we phone a friend? Officer Lewis?
F-R-E.
Can you pronounce the word one more time, please?
Frumentaceous.
Frumentaceous?
Ferment. F-R-E-M-E-N-T. I don't know what the end is. I have no clue. Spelling's not my forte, and I never learned phonics.
All right, Tatius, that has to be right.
He said frumentaceous.
Ferment. Fermentation.
Pencils down.
It's not F-
We have to wait for the 30-second
You
clock.
think it's fermentation?
Watch it be the only ones who get it right.
Words down.
No. I think it's F-E-R.
You think so?
It's just to ferment something.
Too late.
I know.
There goes a CIO. We have a TIO, so
We
we're
already
curious. They have a CIO too. We might get it wrong.
Should have asked Siri.
RPD, there's an open space up here if you want to compete. There's a team of 30, if you want to. Did you guys get it right?
No, nobody did.
No one? No one did.
Oh, so that's where I'm
So
wondering
we're
about.
all at zero. Yeah, it's fine.
So that was the trial round too.
Yeah, that was practice.
That was the trial round. So it's only going to get worse from here.
No one got it wrong.
Wait, can we get the correct spelling?
Yes, please.
The correct spelling is F-R-U-M-E-N-T-A-C-E-U-S.
EOUS.
Did you guys get the E wrong too?
T.
You get a TI, so we got 2 letters wrong. You got 1 letter wrong.
Yeah. Is it open? There's available seats.
So that was an 8th grade level word, which they get tricky. I said to Miss Lindell, if I was in the spelling bee, I don't know if I would be in these seats right here. So we did have some students in both 4th and 5th grade that got up to the 8th grade spelling, and I really had to start coming up with some words to get them out. So wonderful job. We're all winners here. Unfortunately, you won't get lunch with Miss Lindell and I. Like, these lovely people.
We don't get medals for not
But
succeeding.
wonderful job trying, and if you have any further questions, the team, I'm sure, will be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Congratulations,
You don't get
everybody.
to keep playing?
I have a question. Is that okay?
Go ahead. Then we'll do our picture.
I have a question. Just, I didn't know if one student could answer. Take me inside one of the huddles when you have 30 seconds and maybe people didn't agree, and maybe someone thought it was one spelling, someone thought it was another. Can you walk me through maybe how your team decided to arrive at one final answer and what that looked like? Do you mind coming in front of the microphone just so everyone can hear you?
He's the talker. He's the good one. There we go. They're all good. They're awesome.
So how we did it was if we came up with different suggestions on how to spell the word, we would like sound the word out sort of, and also look at like what looks right too. And whichever one had more votes, because we were on a team of 3, we would do that one.
You voted. Okay.
That.
I have to say, I'm pretty impressed in 30 seconds, you're able to write down multiple spellings, have each other sound things out, look at them together, and then vote on it. That's pretty impressive.
That's efficiency right there. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions from anybody else on the committee? No? All right. So we have a tradition where we take a picture with our Focus on Excellence participants. So we will come down here. Parents, if you want to pull your phones out and take pictures, and if one of you is willing to send it to us, we would appreciate that as well. We didn't check whether Sarah, or Jen got it right. No pressure, ladies. Did anybody get fermentation spelled right?
No, I put it in the chat, I was close. I definitely did not get it right. I also had it spelled the same as Sarah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I wouldn't call myself.
Congratulations, students. Very well done. Congratulations.
All right, you want to take the first?
Yeah, I do.
First one, I'll take the last 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, actually, can I do that for you then? Because February, we're going to History on a school trip.
Man.
I'm going to be kicking myself on that one.
We are 0 for 2.
I have a feeling I'm not going to be using that word a lot, so I'm okay with it.
So I'm just checking the chat to see what I was told. Yep, Sarah spelled it the same way that Aaron and I and our student rep spelled it, so there we go.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
That means our table only got 1 letter incorrect.
These 2 tables got 1 letter incorrect, yep, both spelled the same way. And officers, did you get it right?
I was in the station. Going out of town.
Likely story.
Okay, so let's move through our agenda then. Consent agenda, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
And a second? Seconded by Carla. Any discussion or concerns? Nope. We'll roll call vote. Carla?
Aye.
Sean?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Sarah? And Tom, yes. So that passes 5-0. And we'll move on to reports, and we'll start with Phil, Director of Finance and Operations.
Excuse me. Just one quick update. Food Services had their, I wouldn't call it annual, but it was a program review by DESE, went very well. There will be one thing coming out of it, that we will have to raise the price of adult meals for next year.
Adult meals.
Adult meals, yes.
We're talking 28 cents.
Yeah, we're at $5 right now, and I think we're supposed to be at $5.28. So we'll have to raise
Is it
it.
an audit violation that we're not charging adults enough?
Yeah.
Interesting
That's
problem to have,
yeah.
especially considering the status of the account.
Yes.
Okay.
Still a bargain.
Yeah, it's still a bargain indeed. Okay, thank you, Phil. Any questions for him? All right, Dr. Hardy.
Hi, everyone. Just one quick update for you this evening. I think I've mentioned to you previously this year that we were really fortunate to have a grant that is supporting our continued implementation of IM, Illustrative Math, which is our high-quality math program that is in place grades K through 6. And this grant that is out through DESE is to actually help districts who are using high-quality programs to extend and deepen their use of those programs to ensure that all students are really receiving the full academic benefit. And this has been great for us because our teachers are doing a fantastic job implementing IM. They really have gone above and beyond to learn the techniques in this program and to really understand how problem solving is at the heart of it. And with this grant funding, we're able to bring in about 14 different PD sessions across the next few months where we'll pull a grade level of teachers to do a lesson study, to get some intensive PD from a PD provider that we've worked with in the past that we love. And at the same time, this PD provider will be modeling for our K-8 math coaches, also providing them with some one-on-one PD, and finally spending some time one-on-one with our new teachers. So we are really excited. This launches next week, so I know I've talked about it a little bit in the past, but just wanted to bring it front to mind for everybody.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Hardy. Any questions for Dr. Hardy? Nope. All right, thank you very much. And moving on to Dr. Stice.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to let you know, as we've spoken in the past, we completed our program review of our LEAD program, which is our language-based program. And this time we created a video just to highlight the amazing work that our students and staff are doing. And today we sent out a summary to all of the parents in the program, and the staff will be able to see it, and we'll have it posted on our website, and Dr. Milichewski is also going to put it in his newsletter. And we just really wanted to take a moment to thank Renee Lamaro, who is our special education literacy coach, and all of the staff and students and families. We've gotten some nice emails from families that their students are really excelling and they are thrilled. So we just wanted to thank everybody publicly.
Great, thank you. Any questions? Nope, okay. I have the video up, but we won't show it yet. The public will see it in due time. Dr. Milichewski.
Great. Two groups of thank yous. One to DPW, as the community may know, town meeting approved funding for a new fence at Wood End around the upper playground, which is the pre-K. Sachi likes that one? Around the pre-K and K playground. Funding was only approved back in November. I was worried it was going to take a little bit longer given the ground may be freezing, and DPW got right on it. The fence is already fully installed, so a huge thank you to them for jumping on that right away. Definitely makes our community safer for our younger learners. Second, just like to, you may hear a little bit about Career Day, I'm guessing, so I won't, I'll let them take some of that. I'll just thank a couple of groups first. Lynna Williams and the rest of the guidance team for coordinating what we think was a really powerful event for our students, which you may hear some about, to connect them with some potential career future opportunities. There was a wide variety of different occupations out here today. It was really exciting. And also a thank you to the 40-plus members in our local community who took the time today to engage with our juniors and seniors about what it's like to be in their shoes, to help open the eyes of some of our students as they make decisions on college, career, and beyond. So a huge thank you to Lynna Williams, her team, who as always are going above and beyond for our students and to our community partners.
Great. Any questions? We had a small celebration over there from Sashi.
Likes what end?
Okay, so we're moving on to our students.
Okay, for updates, I am going to start with Career Day. So today, RMHS held the first ever Career Day for junior and senior classes. The day kicked off with a keynote speaker, Mr. Hollingsworth, who is the son of the man the football field is named after. And then students broke out into 3 separate sessions with professionals from over 40 different types of careers. Miss Lynna Williams and her school counseling team organized and ran this event, and it was an amazing opportunity for students to gain exposure to career paths from being a professional musician, federal agent, contractor, engineer, doctor, dentist, or nurse, to name a few. This is a day that RMHS plans to continue and grow each year as a larger work-based learning initiative to educate and expose students to different professional fields while they are in high school. I do kind of want to talk about Career Day just a little bit because I did go through it today. It was actually a really amazing experience. I think for almost everybody, like literally everybody that I actually talked about it with said it was really helpful. I think my first 3 classes, I got business strategist, trial lawyer, and then federal agent. I met Mr. Callanan, who was very, very nice. Talked to me about being a federal agent, but for those of you that don't know, I want to go into real estate law, and being able to just kind of get like information on a sort of variety of fields was, I think, really interesting for me. Things I could do after being a lawyer if I got bored of the job, maybe majoring in business, you know. So yeah, that was a really good experience, I think.
Great.
Yeah, I just want to say also, even as a sophomore, the news trickling down from Career Day was that it was a huge success. Everyone enjoyed it, and then the sophomores, freshmen are looking forward to it next year. But in other news, this week, Ms. Callanan spoke at the quarterly PTO meeting to provide the school improvement plan and then provide an overview of new courses for 2025 and 2026. Students will receive course recommendations from the teachers next week and the week after, and then they will select courses the following week for the 2025-26 school year. So just placing you in AP classes, honors, etc. Last week, incoming 9th graders and their families were welcomed at Future Freshman Night for a first look at RMHS. This event was followed by visits to both middle schools by Ms. Callanan, Ms. Williams, and Ms. Buckley, during which they gave all the 9th graders information, speeches, stuff like that, so the incoming 9th graders could ask questions about the high school life. And then lastly, report cards for semester 1 will be posted tomorrow on the 31st, which is, speaking as a student, it's a huge relief to know finally you can kind of exhale after midterms and look forward to the next quarter. So quarter 3 began on Monday, the 27th, and looking forward to the future.
Okay. Thanks, Alex. Next, we have like upcoming events. So there will be a school council meeting on Wednesday, February 5th. There's an early release for students next Friday, the 7th, and February break is coming up, which I'm really excited for because I'm going on the Costa Rica trip for Spanish. So I'm very, very excited. Yeah.
Great. Anything else?
That's everything.
It's great to have you guys back now that midterms are over. We missed you the last couple of times. Okay. Awesome. So we will move forward from there to liaison reports, and we'll start with Carla.
We will have a Killam School Building Committee meeting on Monday. We're going to vote on the proposed budget. We're going to vote on the proposed budget and the package, the schematic design package going to the MSBA. I'm going to reiterate that we will be, the vote to pass this project or not will go to the voters on May 13th. That is the plan right now. And we'll be at town meeting, this spring town meeting for approval from them as well.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Carla? Sean?
No report.
Aaron?
No report.
Sarah?
No report, but I will echo the amazing things that I heard about Career Day today.
Great. And Tom, no report. So now we'll move on to our new business. Gentlemen, if you will join us up here, and Chief Clark, help us understand the SRO search process and the reason why there is SRO search process. Over there, please.
Okay.
And I'm going to do something while you're doing that so we can make sure Officer Lewis actually shows up on camera. Or Detective Lewis, I should say. Get him?
Oh, there we go. Yes, we do. Yeah, nice job.
Get rid of me.
All right, first of all, thank you for having me here, I appreciate it. I hope you know that we really enjoy the great working relationship we have with the school system here in Reading. For me personally, my father grew up in Reading, went to Reading High School. I went to Reading High School. My kids just graduated Reading High School 2 years ago. So I'm very vested. I still live in the town. And the relationship we have with the schools, the police department, I'm glad to see it continues to flourish and grow here. So I'm looking forward to that. Where about you here? And I have a couple notes just because if anybody knows me, I have a tendency to kind of talk and then see a squirrel and go off to a corner. So I kind of give myself a couple notes. We had tonight to announce that School Resource Officer Brian Lewis is going to be getting promoted to the rank of detective. All right, and this is the first time we're publicly announcing it. It's only been kind of internal so far. Recently, the department had an open detective position, so we posted the position. We had a round of interviews, and for anybody that knows School Resource Officer Lewis, no surprise, he topped it. We weren't so shocked at that either, but he's done such great work, and we're not surprised. And frankly, we're very lucky to have him working here in Reading. Brian is our longest running serving school resource officer that we've had here. He's been in the schools for 8 years now, and he's been with the department since 2016, and he worked as a police officer in Portsmouth, New Hampshire before joining us. So he's got a wealth of experience. Officer Cooper will also be getting promoted to the rank of detective and going with Brian. He's going to continue to serve as a comfort dog, and just in a different role. He will be with Brian when they're investigating any serious type of call, sexual assault, anything with kids, elderly person that's scammed out of something, anything that requires somebody who's really upset and calming down. So he's going to be just transitioning into a new role, but he's still going to be an active member of the department. We're still going to utilize him just in a different way. Brian has done an excellent job here, and we cannot hold him back from moving forward. After the interviews, I actually booked a meeting with the superintendent and the town manager and kind of laid out what was going on, and they both agreed. You can't hold somebody that does a great job back and hold them back in their career. And this is not the first time we've promoted somebody out of the school. Lieutenant Detective Richard Abadi, who was our first school resource officer, has moved up in the ranks. Corey Santaski is now a sergeant with us, and Mike Mulo is a detective with us. So it's not uncommon for us to do it. I just think Brian just being here as long as he has, and working with Cooper, we just kind of wanted to discuss what we're going to be doing moving forward. So the superintendent, the town manager, and I met. Officer Lewis, Officer Vatcher, and Lieutenant Abadi have laid out a fantastic transition plan. I'm not going to go and bore you with the minutia. I'm not going to take up your whole meeting, discuss it, but I'll lay out some of the basics of it. But I have presented it to the superintendent and the town manager, and we're all in agreement that this is a great way to move forward. So what we're going to do is the school resource officer position has been posted, and once we get the final list of candidates, the superintendent and I are going to get together, and we're going to come up with a selection committee, a mix of police personnel and school personnel. We want buy-in from both. We think it's important to have both, so we're going to have an even mix. We're just trying to figure out the process, depends on how many candidates we have, to figure out if we're doing 2 rounds, 1 round, and the superintendent and I will work on that. But we want the collaboration. We want an even mix of school and police personnel with this. Once we select who the new school resource officer is, Brian is finishing out the year. I just want to make it clear to everybody, he is going to be finishing out the school year as a school resource officer with Cooper. The new school resource officer will come in and work with Brian and Officer Vatcher, get to meet everybody, meets and greets around the school, become a very familiar face by the end of the school year. The plan is also, at the start of the school year next year, to have Brian come back in as the school resource officer with the new school resource officer, because as the superintendent explained to me, May and June in a school and August and September in a school have 2 very different worlds. So we're going to have Brian start off the school year with the new school resource officer, make sure everything's running smooth, make sure the new students know him and everything. And then once we're comfortable that the new school resource officer is good, Brian will take a step back, but he's not going to be gone. The whole plan is have then Detective Lewis and Detective Cooper still come to the school regularly, still come with the coalition during flex days in the mornings, or if we ever need them. And keep in mind, Officer Thatcher and Rusty are still here. So it's not going to be just a disappearing act or anything. Once it's settled in, the whole plan, we've already talked to the breeder and everything, the whole plan is to eventually reintroduce another comfort dog in with the other school resource officer. But we feel that we want the school resource officer to kind of get ahead, get settled in, up and running fully, have all the classes they need, all the certifications they need, which generally happen over the summertime anyway. And then again, bring in another comfort dog at some point down the future. So it's not Brian's gone and Cooper's gone, that's not it. We do plan on bringing somebody else in. And like I said, we do value a relationship with the schools, and we'll continue this amazing relationship. I just wanted to come here tonight to let the students, the parents, staff, teachers, and the public to know that this isn't something that's just done willy-nilly. We have a plan in place, and we, talking and working in this continued collaboration, I think we have a solid plan in place. And I just wanted to be the first time to congratulate Detective Lewis on his promotion.
Let's do this.
Questions at all, we're happy to answer them. It's just, I just felt that we just needed to kind of sit down and let the school committee know and let the public know what the plan is.
Anybody have any questions or comments?
I do.
Sean?
So first, congratulations to Detective Lewis. As Chief Clark said, the partnership's been fantastic, and, it's well-deserved, and I appreciate you trying to make us feel better about it, but we totally, I can think for all of us, we totally support, Detective Lewis's advancement here. My one question, so when you say you're posting the position, is your expectation that, you'll get applicants from outside the department, or this will be something that existing officers apply for? Like, what's your thinking there?
It's only internal candidates, because we want to, I'm not comfortable bringing an outside police officer that I don't know from a hole in the wall into the Reading Public Schools. So this is internal candidates within the Reading Police Department. Something we've always done is promote from within. That's what we're going to do that.
Makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Great. Sarah, you have a question or comment?
Yeah, thank you. And first, congratulations to Detective Lewis and Detective Cooper. Super excited for you and you guys and your career trajectories. Sad for Reading High School that we don't have you every single day. One of my questions, I guess, or comments, suggestions in terms of the search process internally. I'm sure we can't make it a requirement that the incoming SRO want to have a comfort dog with a strong preference, that they would be willing and open to that. And then I guess I would ask, I understand the learning curve to any new job is really steep, but nothing would embed the new SRO more quickly into the community than a cute little puppy on the day or whatever. So getting, having that learning curve, yes, absolutely, but getting to know students so quickly and staff so quickly by having a cute new little sidekick on their side, I think would be a really big positive as well. So I would just encourage you, in terms of timing, to think about that in terms of welcoming another comfort dog into our community.
So I can actually address that right now. In the job posting was the expectation that the new SRO would be able to take on a comfort dog. So it's actually in the job posting, so there'd be no surprise to any of the candidates putting in. The timing, Superintendent and I spoke. One of the things we discussed was I was going to have Brian finish out the school year and then start next year. He actually is the one that made the suggestion that we actually make the person now, and that way we could speed up the process of getting the person settled in and comfortable, so we could move up the process of getting the comfort dog in here. So that was, I totally respect the superintendent, and we actually changed the plan around based on that. So the plan is, when exactly is out of my hands. It depends on when a litter is born, how many dogs are in the litter, but I can tell you that it is definitely going to be sooner than later. I'm not talking years out. I am talking as soon as the person settled in, but the sooner we start the process, the sooner that can happen. So it actually speeds everything up. And the goal would be to have the dog sooner than later, but it was added to the posting, so it's no surprise to anybody that put in.
Awesome, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Go ahead, Carla.
I will say congratulations. We are very sad about it. Is there going to be any coordination on hair color with dog color? Like,
That fluke again, the funny thing is, we always agreed that Brian was going to get the first dog, and happened to be Cooper, who's dark, and then Rusty came along and we had a laugh, and we got the picture of the dog we're getting from the breeder, and I said, you gotta be kidding me. Nobody's gonna believe that we didn't plan this, so, but no, that's, yeah.
Let's not set ourselves up for a discrimination lawsuit if we could.
But yeah, that was a total fluke, but I had to laugh when we got the picture from the breeder, who Rusty was, and he was gonna be going, Matt back.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Leave it to Carla to throw that one in there.
No, and then John has to come and clean up after me.
That's about appropriate, too. I'll just say, I'll add my congratulations in addition to the previous conversation we had, but I just want to thank you as well. And Lieutenant Detective Abadi, starting the program way back when, and thank you as well that it's been such a strong partnership. It's testament of the relationship between the police department and the schools is how strong that relationship is. And you've been a huge part of that, huge part of that. Well-recognized member of the community, people see you and they smile, right? And it's not just because of Cooper, it's also because of you and who you are, so. So, Detective Lewis, thank you so much. You're not going to be a stranger, but we'll miss you in this role, but we'll see you around town.
Thank you.
Dr. Milczewski.
Thank you. I appreciate those comments too. And I'd also like to just start by echoing what the chief said around the partnership with the schools and the police department. I think that in order to effectively serve our students and our community, we need to be in tight communication, partnership, and support. I think we do that really well, and I feel fortunate that I stepped into a strong partnership, and it's been, I think, really important for our community to continue that. And I just appreciate all of your leadership and kind of sustaining and building on that partnership. This is exciting for us and it's challenging for us too. A couple things just that I talked to the high school staff about Officer Lewis, a couple things that everyone wanted me to point out and acknowledge. First, just how skilled he is at his job. Like, you are dealing with pretty consequential matters when they come to you, when we're talking about, students and about our community, and someone we know in the job who is extremely competent and is able to handle situations with thoughtfulness, with care. It is really reassuring to know that we have someone in the role who can do the role at a high level. Two, he and Cooper are everywhere, whether that is a community event, a sporting event, something else at the school. Having your presence, I know, means so much to the students, and it is reassuring, and I just appreciate you always going above and beyond. You'll often see Officer Lewis with his his kids here, his family here, and things too, and just really all in on the community, and I think that means a lot to a lot of people. And then third, just appreciate the relationships he's built with our students and with our staff. I think part of the things that he did so well was to to be proactive about building relationships, help diffuse issues, help to keep the relationships positive. Every morning you see him at the front door greeting students, him and Cooper, and that goes a long way. You walk down the hallway, his office is usually filled with students, whether that's wanting a check-in, just wanting to say hello, but there's so many students that he impacted outside of his traditional job description that has had an impact on them and their development. So that's not in the job description and all of those things, but I think those are the things that you'll be remembered by our community too. So huge shoes to fill here, it looks like, continuing on. Appreciate the chief's thoughtfulness in this process. I feel confident that we'll be able to land the best candidate that we can. And again, just really huge thanks to the police department, huge thank you to Officer Lewis. We wish you the best, and Officer Cooper as well.
Thank you. Detective Lewis.
Detective Lewis. Yep, detective. As of when?
Monday.
So not yet, right?
I'm not gonna hold back with the process with the SRO, the replacement. I'm a firm believer that when we make a decision, we move forward, and especially when it's the right decision, there's no point in slowing it down. So it's
great. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Yes, it's been awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Okay, we'll move on to the next area of business, which is the school year 2025-2026 calendar review and discussion. And Dr. Milczewski, you're going to kick it off? Or?
Yeah, that sounds good. So first I'll orient you on what's in the packet. You'll see a draft of the calendar for the 25-26 school year, and then you'll also see a quick cover letter that outlines just some of the changes from 24-25 to 25-26. So if anyone at home is watching, feel free to follow along there too. We're going to open it up just to questions or comments from the committee. I'd like to give, as we do that, let the community know that Dr. Hardy's worked extensively on this this with our RTA president, Ms. Jess Bailey, who I think they've gone back and forth on different ideas, changes, and I feel like we've been able to incorporate a lot of the feedback from the union. If there is any feedback tonight from the committee on things you'd like us to consider, we will look at that as an administrative team and also look at that with our union again and potentially make any shifts or adjustments in the calendar we bring forth in advance of the vote on February 13th. So at this point, just like to open up to any questions, concerns, or comments from the committee.
Aaron.
So just three things. On the second page, when you give, for middle and high school, you give the semester dates. I think families would appreciate seeing the quarter dates. Super minor change, but just helpful for people. In October, I wasn't sure if any thought had been given to doing the Teacher in-Service Day on the 14th. Make it a 4-day weekend for families. I can't remember how long ago, but there was a point where that was the professional development day, at least maybe in like non-presidential elections. As a parent, I loved it because it gave us an opportunity to do something maybe a little further away without impacting attendance. But I don't know if you've already considered it, and it was ruled out. I didn't know if Wednesday was significant. The March one is also a Wednesday, but I just wanted to point it out. And also just to then not disrupt the prior week, then you just have one short week in October. And then the third is, I completely understand the teacher rationale for moving the secondary early release to Wednesdays. I would just suggest, if that is to be the case, that we make sure we're publicizing that pretty loudly. Just publishing the calendar is unfortunately not enough, because I think it has to be in like bright flashing neon letters for families. But I think with enough notice, families can hopefully adjust for the once a month, but it will be an adjustment. I think, for people who occasionally work from home, Fridays is really easy to make that happen. So just a thought.
Great feedback.
Sean.
So I'll start by just piggybacking on Aaron's last point. I'm not, to be honest, terribly supportive of changing the middle school and high school early release days to a different day, for the reason that Aaron highlighted, but also, when you've got families with kids across both levels, I think there's an impact of not having those early release days synchronized. I hear the rationale that's here, but I think because it's a meaningful change and because it creates, frankly, inconvenience for families that have students across levels, I think you have to have a really, really compelling reason, and training working better on Wednesday versus Friday is a reason. It doesn't strike me as compelling enough to justify this change, frankly. So, I'd love for us to revisit that one. I agree with Aaron's comment about the in-service day in October. I think, we have a relatively long run from the beginning of the year until, Thanksgiving before we have anything more than a 3-day weekend in the first semester, or in the fall anyway. So I think it'd be, I think that's a great suggestion if it's workable. And then on that same point, I just want to sort of celebrate No School November getting a little bit better. It's a fantastic move. I'm glad we're moving that day to October. So.
Okay. Sarah, your hand's up.
Yeah, I'll just echo those are the two things that jumped out at me as well, the October date, and then the early release for middle and high school on Wednesdays. Particularly for middle school, I think midweek is hard for families, usually for scheduling and working and all of those things. So unless we have a really compelling reason to move it from a Friday to a Monday, Fridays tend to be an easier day for families, in my experience, to kind of, deal with schedule changes and getting kids to and from school.
Okay. Carla? So a couple of minor things. I can get out of annotate mode. On the January date, it's the only case, I think, where we have a multi-day break where we don't actually say 1 through 2. It's just minor. That's a quick thing that can be updated.
Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great night so far. It is now time to move to your second correct location, so please follow your tour guides. Enjoy!
Didn't even know there was a tour going on.
Yeah, if you look downstairs for the, for RMHS arts programs.
Arts programs, okay, good. So that was that. One, on the October feedback, I think it's interesting. I think let's just be careful about any contractual limitations around long weekends and what not to think about there. So whether it's Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we might, and that might have been the reason why it's Wednesday, is there might be some things to watch out for in that regard. And if that's the case, let's just, if we need to educate people, let's educate people for the reason on that one. Otherwise, I think I'll celebrate Sean's point. We have to have 2 weeks in November where there is no day off is the first time in probably 5 or 6 years, I think, if not longer. So I think that's great, and I appreciate the effort there, and I appreciate all the work to try and hear feedback from people and then see what we can do to tighten things up. Sean?
Can I add one more? Just to consider, and I'm sure you've already discussed it, having, the 22nd and 23rd be school days, we still have quite a bit of slack at the, towards the end of the calendar here. I think the schools are going to be a ghost town on those 2 days. So, this wouldn't apply every year, but in sort of the way the calendar falls now, it's kind of a rare opportunity to have, a full cohesive 2 weeks off. I think a lot of families are going to do that anyway, frankly, so it just might be something to consider whether we want to take advantage of there still being, like I said, quite a bit of slack at the end of the year here.
I'll add to that and say that looking at having the last day on a Monday with no snow days probably isn't the best thing either. So if we do adjust and add, then it would be last day on a Wednesday, and at least you're not ending on a Monday.
Unless we have 3 snow days.
Unless, well, yeah, but.
It doesn't snow anymore, so.
Juneteenth, right?
And Juneteenth is Friday, so, but it gives you one snow day, potentially a break. And I do think this year it felt like a long winter break for the kids, but at the same time, we didn't face any of that. Well, why do we even have to go? Because nobody's going to be there. And also, I'm sure other families face that same question at the dinner table sometimes. So that might be a small adjustment that could be an easy win.
Great.
Okay.
It also feels like another time of year in addition to right now where there's so much sickness.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind them having 2 fewer days in December and adding that on in June with the idea that, there's so many absences in December as it is. So whether it's travel or illness.
Go ahead.
Great, so appreciate all the feedback. So a couple things. I think there's 2 easy adjustments which we can commit to making no problem. One is changing to quarter dates. I think that updating semester to quarters makes sense. And then Tom, your feedback about making sure it reflects 1 and 2 up there makes sense. 3 things that we'll consider as a team and we'll bring to our union and discuss and either make a shift or come back with sort of a compelling rationale and sort of why we decided not to, or not proposing a shift. The October 14th PD day, the secondary, day, PD days, whether it's Wednesday or Friday, and then the 12/23, 12/20, 22/23, whether or not those are days off. Those are things we have obviously discussed with our union, but bringing in your feedback is an element we didn't have. So I think that'll add another layer to the conversation. So we will come back in the next week with a draft for the committee to share, and then hopefully have kind of a more polished proposal and recommendation prior to the 2/13 meeting.
Okay, great. Anything out there? Seeing none. Okay, good. We will move on then in our agenda. And our last topic of the evening is the FY26 budget. And Dr. Milichewski, do you have anything to start with? Or?
Great. Yeah, so I will start by just orienting everyone to what's in the packet. So everyone should have both the original budget presentation with the original budget book, which may have some minor pieces of feedback or updates that kind of coincide with what's on the FAQs, but no major adjustments in terms of different allocation of funding. I would like to bring everyone's attention to the FAQ document. That FAQ document was compiled of questions from both school committee meetings, the original budget presentation, the budget hearing, and then that obviously the budget discussion, and also any questions that were submitted via email, which We did not have any email questions outside of, hooray, we made it universal, tuition-free kindergarten. It's about time. We're excited, that type of feedback as well. The only thing I wanted to talk about tonight was around the, kind of the committee's request to have us prioritize a little bit on some of the requests if we are to not necessarily need the additional kindergarten teacher based on enrollment. I think at this point, as of now, January, February, we believe that if we do not need that additional kindergarten 1.0 teacher, that it would be best decision to reallocate those funds towards our non-personnel lines, given that the last 2 years we have level funded our non-personnel lines, and we know there is going to continue to be an increase in cost of curriculum, PD, some of our subscriptions, materials, supplies. We think that it is a smart decision for us to be able to probably more accurately reflect what some of those costs coming our way will be. So if, as we move forward in the spring and we have a better handle on kindergarten enrollment, which as of today is 279, we will keep the committee informed. And if there's a different sort of, proposal, we'll obviously discuss that with the committee. But at this point, we think that's sort of the best path if we do not need that 1.0. Other than that, there's not a lot of content to discuss tonight, so we'd like to just open up to questions or conversation.
Okay, anybody in the committee? John?
I'll just say I'm generally supportive of that approach. I think, we've got manageable but still tight budgets for the next few years, so I'm more comfortable adding things that we can claw back as necessary versus, staff positions that become harder to claw back. As we know, there are still things we'd like to do, but I think being a little bit more conservative and attaching dollars to sort of consumables and whatnot probably makes sense given where we've been the last few years.
Anybody else? No? Okay. I'll just make a couple of quick comments. The committee is aware of what's happened nationally, right? This vote, the recommendation of this budget includes what we expect to have as a result of IDEA, Title I, and other things like that. The most recent guidance we've been given is that those were not included in any attempted freeze that happened recently. And if anything were to happen to those, we'd have to come back and figure out what to do. But in the meantime, per our Reading Home Rule Charter statutory limit requirements, we have to vote tonight on a budget, and this is a good budget that satisfies everything we know we need to do. I think we move forward with this and be responsive if something were to change, right? We've looked at it, we've assessed it, but what it is what it is right now, and I think we're all collectively comfortable with where it is. At least we'll see with the vote shortly, but from everything I'm hearing and seeing from people, we're comfortable with it where it stands.
Great.
Okay. Anything, Sarah, from you? Nope. Okay. So, Aaron, we have a motion?
Is the wording just to approve it?
Yeah, keep it
Okay. Motion to approve the fiscal year 26 school budget.
Seconded by Carla. Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. Roll call. Carla?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
And Tom? Yes. Passes 5-0. So there we go. Now you can hand it off to the town manager tomorrow.
And I just want to close by, thank you for that. I also just like to thank the committee for what I think has been years, and I probably argue, even longer, of advocacy for the universal tuition-free kindergarten for our community. That has been a priority of every member sitting up here at the table. That's been a priority of our town, and it's also been, as you've seen, the support each year in the budget from the town. Some can argue it's long overdue, but I think kind of how that has been closed the last couple of years is just a testament to your work, to your leadership, to the town work, the town leadership, and just really encouraged that we are now in a place where I think is really exciting for our community. So huge thank you to you in getting us here.
Great. Okay. With that said, any further motions?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Second. We got a combo today, first and second. All right, not debatable. Carla?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Sarah? Tom? Yes, we are adjourned at 7:55.